What's up, friends? So today's episode of Antlered Pursuit TV, we are talking about what is one of my all-time favorite small game hunting rifles, as well as probably one of the best survival weapons ever created for hunting purposes, as in terms of a rifle. However, to give you guys a little hint, one hint, to see if you can figure out what weapon I'm talking about. Now that hint is that you can actually store this gun in a cardboard box such as this. And now if you guys don't know what gun I'm talking about and do want to figure it out, please be sure to stay tuned, and we will definitely go through talking about this weapon and why it's my favorite, and or why I think everybody should have one if they can. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. Now for those of you that could not really figure out what it is by the hint, here she is. This is called a Savage 24. And for those of you that don't know much about this gun nor have ever heard of it, it's basically a survival weapon that Stephen Arms introduced to Savage Arms around 1950 as a survival weapon for the Air Force or the United States Army Air Force or something like that. He introduced it and developed it for the reason of survival. And the reason why it might look kind of big, right? It's around 41 inches, I believe. But the reason why it's such a survival weapon is because it's chambered in a 22 up top and a 410 on the bottom. As you guys can see, one hole up top that's a little smaller and a little hole on the bottom, chambered in 410. As well as a survival weapon, you need something to be compact, right? So what's so nice about this gun, and I love it so much, nor do I ever use it like this, but for travel purposes it's really nice because it can be broken down into 3 parts. First part is the stock. With one click, the stock falls out very, very fast and very, very easy. And that, so we'll do that again. Just boop, pop it off. You have this in a piece. To take apart the rest of the gun, all you really have to do is to take this little switch right here, which is to break the barrel. You just move it to the right or left, and the barrel is going to break and pretty much fall off. So it right now folded down. All you're just going to do, lift it off just like that. Very, very simple. So we have the actual barrel, the butt of the stock, the trigger, the mechanism area, as well as the actual stock. Three parts of the gun that can be put into a backpack, a suitcase. Now I believe for the length of this barrel is 100% legal in most states. You're just gonna have to check to see if you can use 2 types of gun. Now before you guys go ahead and buy one of these, I would check for your guys' hunting regulations for your state and seeing if one of these weapons is 100% legal, and if it is, which one you're allowed to use. For certain seasons like turkey season, you might only be allowed to use a 410, and maybe you're not even allowed to use a 410 for turkey. So you're gonna have to check what regulations and as far as that goes for your states. And with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and take a couple shots at a target about 20 paces away with the 410 and also with the 22. Now it's not something super special, but I just put a little stick in here to give us something to aim at about 20 yards. Another cool thing about this gun is you can actually use a 410 3-inch shell. You know, some guns you have to use something less, and if it's a pistol, you can't use a 3-inch shell, so that's pretty cool. Also, this is a 22 long rifle, so you're not going to have the crazy power of a 22 mag and also the weakness of a 22. So for loading, it's simple. You just go ahead and put them suckers in there. 22, 410 on the bottom, and again 22 up top. Very simple. You can't really mess it up. Now some of you might try to mess it up, but you can't really. Very simple, just close it. Another great thing about this gun that I like, you can actually use switch and decide which weapon you want to use by the simple switch. So to go to the 410, you just push it down, and then to go to the 22, you just push it up, just like that. So we're gonna go ahead and use the 22 first, since I just already have it up. And all you pretty much do is you just pull the hammer back, and you're ready to pull the trigger. Really hit crazy well. I mean, at 20 yards, I'm like 2 inches off the center. It's kind of tricky with the iron sights, but here we go. There is the shot. Again, about 2 inches from the bullseye. Now it's very simple to use the 410. Just move that switch down to the bottom, pull the hammer back as well as the 22. Something to keep notice. the barrel on the 410 is a little bit lower than the 22, so when you're using your iron sights, you might not be having the most amount of BBs in the center of your target due to it's lower than the 22, so just aim just a smidge higher and you should be semi close to the target. Again, you're not shooting crazy far. There's no choke in this, so you know you can only do so much, and you're gonna have to figure out what kind of spread your thing's doing. So we'll go ahead and show you guys what it does at about 20 yards. Okay. Nothing too crazy. We're gonna go ahead and check her out. Hopefully I didn't blow up my GoPro. But yep, so we have 2 shells completely discharged. Here's the 410. Here's your little 22. Awesome. Very, very fun. Even if you're gonna use it as a target round home. Very, very cool. Well, it looks like I wasn't too great, too fantastic of a shot. I was actually aiming right about there, and majority of the pellets were down and to the left a little bit. So you gotta keep that in mind if you're gonna figure out a little bit, target practice a little bit more, and you know, figure out what kind of spread and stuff your gun does. So awesome. With that being said, if you guys did like this episode on the Model Savage 24 and do want to see another episode with this gun hunting or another gun review and then hunting with that gun, write down in the comment and or subscribe, like, or do whatever you need to do to let me know. As well as if you do like the shirt that I'm wearing Antlered Pursuit, to help support me, you can go down in the description. Down there's a link. You can click that. It brings you up to a website where you can purchase one of these pieces of clothing. If you do, you can go ahead and send that link or whatever it is. Say, hey, I purchased one of these things. Let me know. Show me a picture of you wearing it or whatever. And I'll give you guys a shout out on my Instagram page. So until next time, guys, find your pursuit and chase it with everything you've got. Signing off and see you next time on Antlered Pursuit.